Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another Steel Division guide. This time we're going to be going over Panzerverband. I'm sorry if I'm saying it wrong. Anyway, we're going to go over the team game version and overview of the overall deck, and then the later half of the video we'll go over 1v1. But first of all, guys, only a small percentage of you are subscribed, so please subscribe, and let's get into it. First of all, let's just go over the overall view of the deck, guys. Recon tab, it's nothing really to write home about. You do get some Fusiliers, 25 points, pretty cost efficient, come with an AT grenade. Okay availability, 3, 6, and 9, but nothing to write home. Get your BMW for radios if you want. You don't come with any armor cards, unfortunately. Can come with the MG transport if you want, but not recommended. They can die in infantry fire, and most Russian DP squads have an AT rifle, so that dies anyway. You get another squad of Recon, another one not really used. You do get, which is very interesting, is a CQC squad of I don't even know how I'm going to say that. But it gets a Panzerfaust, and they're only 25 points, so actually pretty good. And they're pretty good at medium range, too. You can see their stats. Pretty nasty. Okay availability, 3 and 6. Better in B, but not so much in A. And you do get a Panther D Recon, which is phase locked for A or B. But if you vet once, you can bring 1 and B as well. So that's up to you. Infantry tab. Nothing again, just standard German. 2 Pioneer squads with the DPs instead of MGs. You can bring them with half tracks. In fact, you pretty much do because you don't have that many you don't really have any real transports. Again, you do get another MG34 option, but you do also get your one squad of Panther Grenadiers with Panzerfaust with normal 2 MG42s. You get 2 leader squads you can choose from. Either a Pioneer or a Panzerfaust. Thing to note though is they do come with this little flat gun if you're feeling it. It's crewed by this. Oh yeah, he's in. He actually has a crew person. He's not holding anything to the gun, but he somehow fires it, and his foot looks like it's sewed through the floorboard there. But whatever. Anyway, it does come with a flak if you want. Both of the leaders do, so that's really nice if you're looking for a little extra AA or just more infantry support fire. Tank wise, you get a good host of variety. Not enough Panzer IVs though. Only get 1 card, and it's phase locked to A, which is pretty brutal. You get some Panzer IIs. You can bring them A and B at 1 vet or double vet. Not such great availability. You do got Panzer IIIs. Panzer IIIs are okay depending on who you're fighting. Only 70 penetration, guys, but 30 points. So pretty cheap. The same cost as Panzer's Grand Squad. You can't bring the leader. They're pretty nasty in numbers and up-vetted really high. They can really actually mess up some Shermans and CQC. But again, this should be utilized in CQC. Any other engagement, they're dead. Or infantry support. Panther Gs, you get 3 cards Panther Gs. You get 1 card of Panther As. You get 2 cards of... Well, 1 card of Panther A fewers. You can bring them A and B. Or Panther Gs, which you can bring in B or C. Panther 3 leaders are phase locked to A. And you get 1 card of T-3045s and Tigers. Tigers can be in any phase. T-3045s are phase locked to B phase. So, okay, tank tab. Support tab, a little more interesting. You do get this SDKFC with the assault gun. It's actually a really good vehicle. I really recommend this. It is phase locked to A, but you do get really good availability. 8 of them for only 30 points. You get your IG-18s, MG42, 2 cards of them. Flame half tracks that are absolutely useless and should not be utilized. I mean, God, look how lazy this is. Their legs are literally like fused into the board. At least they're actually crewed by people though, unlike other vehicles. 3 varieties of commander. Armor car vehicle, half track commander, infantry, or Panther. It's up to your taste. I would either choose between these two, either high stealth or high maneuverability. Kind of up to you. You don't get that much ammo, only getting 2 cards. So that's something to know. But you can bring them A or B. AT-wise, pretty small. You get PTRS squads. They're German PTRS, so they suck. And I would never recommend them. Panzer Shreks, you get Panzer Shreks, which are really good. You get decent availability, 4, 8, and 12. And then you also get your anti-tank Stug. These things never actually perform that well, so I don't really recommend them. They are fragile as all hell, and they only seem to get hit and die. Only 70 frontal armor, but, another medium tank if you're looking for it. Just doesn't have the rotating turret like a Panther 4. AA-wise, get your beautiful Flak 37s, mobile wagons, SDKFCs. You also get some Flak 20s, but does not come with any half tracks. These are phase locked to A. Everything else is phase locked to A, and then it's phase locked to A and B, and this is phase locked to nothing, which is nice. And then your artillery tab. Again, not looking too great. You get your Panzerwerfer if you want some mobile rocket artillery. You also get some Warfremens. You can bring them in A, B, or C. These are all the same A, B, and C. You bring 120s, 105s. You can bring 105s, I believe, with no ammo, so no ammo for them. 81mm mortars. Your artillery leader, get 1 card of mortar half tracks, either phase locked to A or B, and And then that's it. That's it. You get your artillery leaders as well. Artillery leaders, to note, are a little different than any other artillery leaders. They come with like these terrible transports, but they're actually a pretty thick squad. You know, they have this like weird rifle. It literally looks like an 1800s rifle. I'm not really sure what this rifle is, but it looks really cool and slick actually. Airwise, this is the best part of the deck, I believe. Get your Rudol here coming with the G2 anti-tank killer. They're all double vetted. You have to be double vetted. You either get 1, 2, or 4. You also get Focke-Wulf 8/8. These things are awesome. Can't go wrong with them. You also get some recon planes. I have an air spam deck right now set up, so this is 39 aircraft. You can spam with this, but that's for team games. So my strategy with this deck is to play somewhat offensive in A phase, just because you're kind of phase locked to your light tanks being in A, but then slowing down to B and C and building up for air spam. And that's really where I think this deck is. You also get this beautiful off-map plane. I almost forgot to mention, guys. This thing's a 203 off-map. It is nasty. It is crazy. Each gets 3 shots. You can bring them A, B, or C. B is a really good choice in a 1v1, being that you get 2 of them, and each one has 3 shots, I believe. Oh, actually, I'm pretty sure they have 3 shots. I have to double check, but I'm pretty sure it's 3. It's either 3 or 2, but it's a huge artillery, and it's nasty. And this thing is actually pretty fast. And it acts as a recon guide after you use the off-map as well, which is really nice. Bring your defenses. But yeah, overall, again, that's what I was saying. It's an air spam deck. I think you can really spam with that. You have a decent amount of tanks for the late game if you're playing a team game. You have the Warfremens. You have a decent amount of AA just to cover yourself. But again, I think it's kind of a weaker team deck build if you're playing the attrition war. But let's get into the 1v1 and like more aggressive build for team games, because I think that's where this deck shines a little bit. Okay, 1v1. This is a little bit interesting. Again, I don't really bring much in the Recon tab. The only thing I do bring is these Pioneer squads. Pretty good, 25 points for a free Pioneer, 1 vet. I do recommend them. You don't really have that much CQC infantry, so they do make up that. I don't really recommend vetting any of your infantry in general. You only have 66 infantry, and it's just, you just don't have really good availability. If you do it though, you're being very thin with the infantry, so be very careful. I recommend you bring these SDKFZs, these assault guns, 30 points, really good. They also have some pretty good heat rounds, 15 rounds too, a decent rate of fire, 100 pen, so that's actually awesome. I really do recommend that. You should bring the MG42s. You get their phase lock though. You can't double vet them, but you can phase lock to get them 1 vet at least. That's nice. So A and B. Again, you should bring you're kind of forced to bring the Panzer 3s in A. Bring a leader with them, pair them with the leader to make sure they're double vetted. These things actually perform at their top of their game. Panzer 4Gs can be mixed in there with them. That can be really effective. You get some Tigers. You have T-30-45s and B to make up for the lack of heavy tanks. Make sure you keep this leader tank next to your Panther Gs. Keep them at least 1 vet, potentially double vet with the commander. That really will help those things perform a lot better. But you got to be very careful with your Panthers again. As we know, bring Panzer Shreks. It's a must take. You need something to fight those CQC light vehicles and tanks. Bring some Pack 40s. Pack 40s are always good. I recommend 1 vetting your 37s and bringing some extra flak in B. You can bring mobile wagons if you're feeling it. I don't really recommend bringing 20 mils. They're not very good at all. They won't shoot down anything or stop anything from dropping its bomb loads. Artillery wise, bring the Warfremen. Bring an ammo in A or B, depending on what you feel like it. I recommend bringing mortars for smoke. These radial mortars always perform really well, but be noteworthy with them just because you don't have a lot of ammo to spare between the Warfremen and the SDKFZ. Warfremens can fire twice without needing to be reloaded, so that's something to note. You really dominate in the air, though. Your Focke-Wulf should dominate. You have a ton of them, and then use those G2 to mop up stuff. You don't really have any like decent like light bombers to kill some AT guns, but you do come with the DO-217s. These things aren't very fast at all. They get hunted down pretty quickly, but they'll definitely bomb out some targets. This one though with the 50 kilogram bombs tend not to kill and more suppress, so something to be noteworthy of. But yeah, that's what I recommend. These things actually do pretty well on head-ons, and they have really good resilience. They're really strong to AA. So if you have Focke-Wulfs escorting them, you could bring those in your deck and do some really good damage. Again, I think this is a weird deck. I think there's a lot of weaknesses and things that need to go right for it to be effective. I really do think you can be outclassed pretty quickly in the armor tab and infantry tab, which is pretty brutal in a 1v1 setting. Airwise, it's really good, but again, there's other alternatives that can really be a little better. But it's still a pretty fun deck, and I think it's a really strong deck still, and it can be utilized really well. I would just try to avoid certain decks that can dominate both the armor tab and the infantry tab. If there are decks too with a good air tab that can mess you up and neutralize both these categories already, then it's for sure don't bring it. Anyway, guys, I would be really curious to see what you guys think. I'm really enjoying this deck. And I like to see what you guys think. Tell me what you guys want to see, and leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe for more content.